Greetings and welcome to another 5 Minutes with Neil. I'm Neil and the time is ticking away. Welcome to episode 12. I'm 12 of them. There won't be an episode next week. There will be an episode 13, but it will be in the first week of the new year because Neil has to take a week off. He's got Christmas things to do. I got Christmas stuff to do. I can't just be doing 5 Minutes with Neil 13 weeks in a row. I did 12 weeks in a row. I'm taking a week off, and then the New Year's, there's going to be a story. 10 years ago, maybe a little bit more, in the era of the videotape. If you wanted to watch the kind of movies you liked at Christmas time, the regular standards, It's a Wonderful Life, and A Christmas Carol, and Scrooged, Miracle on 34th Street. Wanted to see those things, you had to go to the video store and rent them. And most people, if they're, smart, they go and they reserve them or whatever. And I didn't reserve them. I just went down to the video store. This is Queen Street Video on Queen near Spadina, if you're familiar with Toronto. And it's a really cool alternative little video store, and they have chains now. But at the time, I think it was the only one of its kind as far as Queen Street videos go. And I went in and just like an idiot, expecting that the movies I wanted to get were there, and they weren't. And the clerk was there, and I said, "Wow, so they're all gone." He looked at me, and he's a good kid. He was a good kid. He looked at me, and he said, "Yeah, they're gone." And I said, "Well, I guess I'm screwed." And he said, "No, you're Scrooged." I had a good laugh about that because it was funny. We laughed. And he's a good guy, and we've laughed before. And he's right. I was Scrooged. And right at that moment in that time, I'm thinking, well, there we go. I'm gonna have to try to find some BS on. These are all first world problems, right? This isn't. It's not like it's a big tragedy. What fucking Christmas movie you're gonna see? But anyway, I was disappointed. And just as I was about to leave, I hear outside on the sidewalk outside on Queen Street, right in front of the video store, I hear woof woof woof, and yip 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 yip, like a big dog and a little dog, and then silence. And the clerk and I look at each other, and he's kind of wide-eyed, and I'm like wide-eyed, like what? Like it was weird. And then we just hear screaming. So. And I can see through the window that a huge crowd of people is gathered. So I'm looking at him, and he can't leave the counter, because he has customers in there. But I can leave because I'm a customer, so I free will. So I leave, and I go up front, and I see what's happened now is that there is a great big pit bull, probably about 120 pounds, and he's on the sidewalk, and it's about -5, and there's snow everywhere, and snow drifts and everything, and it's snowing a little bit, very cloudy day, and he's there, and he's built like a tank. 120 pounds, this thing, huge. No, that's 110. Huge though, the big diamond with a studded collar, and in his mouth was a toy poodle, and not a toy poodle, a real life toy poodle, very very small little poodle, little white poodle. And it was laying limp in his mouth. Now, it was alive, and it wasn't damaged, but somehow it ended up in the mouth of this pit bull. And everyone was just freaking out and screaming. The woman of the toy poodle, she's on her knees looking at the toy poodle, and like her baby, and going, "You're gonna be okay. You're gonna be okay." And then the owner is kicking the pit bull and kicking the pit bull with his foot. And the pit bull won't let it go. I guess its jaws lock, right? I didn't know this at the time, but the pit bull's jaws will lock, and it can't release it. The guy even had a bike lock, and he was sort of tapping the pit bull on the head, and it wouldn't release its jaws. And so everyone is freaking out, and there's probably now about 40 or 50 people. I'd say about 40 people gathered in a big circle watching this and shouting out what they think they should do and what everybody should do to try to stop this tragedy that's about to happen, because everyone thinks that the pit bull is going to kill this poodle. I'm going to go late, obviously. It's a Christmas present to you guys. We're going to go another minute. And we think that, I'm looking at this going, well, any second this pit bull's going to kill this poodle. And out of nowhere, the door opens up, the Queen Street video store door opens up. out comes the clerk, and I guess he's in a rush because he doesn't want to leave his counter, or he's got help that came and is behind the counter for him. He comes out. Now I didn't tell you earlier. He's wearing a Santa hat. He's wearing a Iron Maiden concert shirt. Like old school Iron Maiden concert shirt. And he's got a broom handle in his hand. And he comes out and he yells, I know what to do. I know what to do. I train pit bulls. I train and raise pit bulls. I know what to do. I know what to do. Everybody backs up. He goes in there. The poodle's in the mouth. The pit bull's like this. He picks up the tail of the pit bull, takes the broom handle, jams it into the anus of the pit bull. That's right. Jams it into the anus of the pit bull. Grabs the broom handle, lifts the pit bull up in the air, and starts shaking it back and forth like this as hard as he can. Well, about 3 shakes like that, pit bull releases his jaws, poodle drops to the ground, yip yip, into the arms of the owner. Owner of the pit bull grabs the pit bull, makes sure he's okay. Crowd cheers. The crowd cheers. He looks at me, the clerk, the hero. Looks at me, the big smile on his face. Right? Broom handle in hand. Looks at me. I'm going, that's a rough end to be handling, but he's holding it. He looks at me and he says, if you don't have a broom handle, you can always use a key. I'm like, thanks, man. That's a good thing to remember. It was like a little Christmas gift to me from him. So anytime, this is a message to all you out there, this is what you've learned, this is what you've learned. If a pit bull can't release its jaws, stick something up its anus, and it will.